What's going on, guys? This is the Middle Eight Podcast. Welcome back. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, push the dingle bell button, all them things there. We have Cherry Vizzle, Cherry V, Ricardo Williams, and myself, Jermaine Riley, giving you the tea on what's happening generally in our world, in the R&B circuit, in the R&B globosphere. Today, I mean, how are you guys doing?
I'm good.
Oh, you look good.
Thank you, darling.
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Nice, man.
Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. It's our first one in 2021, isn't it?
Yes, first one for the year, new bed sheets and that.
Amen.
How you doing, man? How's it going?
Everything is great. Life is better and everything is good.
Sir, your eyebrows saying one, you know.
Thanks. I took my time today.
Lovely. I love it.
How you doing, Ricardo?
I'm good, you know. Today was a little bit of a stress, I'm not gonna lie. I was running up and down. But I'm good, man. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm nice. I can't complain.
And you, Jermaine?
Yeah, man. I mean, just hustling, you know. We're not out of the trenches yet. Obviously, 2021 isn't like a total eradication of the crap that we was dealing with from last year. So, you know, we're still in lockdown, all the rest of it, but surviving, blessed, making money. So I can't really complain, you know, just hustling, trying to monetize every Ross gift I have.
Oh my gosh, your hat! I just realized.
Oh, that's
man.
Come on.
I like that one.
Can we get it, Jay? Can we get it anywhere, or is that just special edition?
And this was actually a gift. My boyfriend gave me this.
Oh.
But yeah, I need to obviously do my research and get the stuff printed off. Yeah, I need to get them merched up, put them on a store or something. But yeah,
proper cute.
Thank you. What else was I going to say? So, obviously, like, this stuff isn't necessarily to do with our country, but it's like it's almost like a direct parallel, because we've got the British version, the polite version of the fuckery, right? So, the capital, how do we feel about the capital being stormed by the whites?
Man said by the whites. Jermaine, what is wrong with you today?
What?
Man never said by, I don't know, the Republican.
Wait. Let's get something really straight right now.
The whites.
Yeah? If it was 72% black people in the crowd,
for real,
they would say the blacks. So let's just do what we need to do and talk about what we need to talk about, okay? They were white. 87% at the least.
True.
It's white people that stormed the Capitol. And that's the reason why there were 10 arrests and no shootings other than the veteran that got shot down because she was a terrorist. But yeah, how do you guys feel?
You know what? I'm just desensitized and I'm kind of over it. Like, I swear, when I saw it, I mentally just switched off. Like, took a deep breath, sighed, puffed, whatever you want to call it. And I was just like, they're going to be all right, aren't they? They're actually...
Which is the facts.
Better lay with daylight robbery and daylight blue murder. So I just... you know what? I tried to keep my thoughts and feelings to that whole, like, Trump movement to a minimum, because I could go on for days.
Yeah.
I find it like, and like a lot of my family members, like older generation, that's all they talk about. Yeah. So it's a lot. And the half-hearted apology, it was just all very orchestrated, in my humble opinion. But
it wasn't even an apology. It was like, guys,
yeah,
it was like his fan club was there, and he was like, guys, we don't need to do this. Like, don't worry. Like, it was like, what?
Did you see the second one though? Did you see the second one?
No, I don't think I caught that one.
Like, I think somebody like told him, listen, you better come better than that. Had to do a second announcement. Yeah.
Wow. How do you feel about it, Ricardo?
You know, it was proper wild to me. Like Cherry, I'm kind of, and I know it's bad in a way, a little bit like desensitized to all, or try to be, because if you dwell on it, you're just gonna go mad. Like if you start to go down the rabbit hole of the implications of people's actions, what he did, what transpired, then you just end up feeling like very isolated as a black person on this earth. Do you know what I mean? And so I try not to go too deep down that rabbit hole. But you know what rattled me is when you watch the footage and there's no two ways about it. There's no like, oh, maybe this or maybe that. Like the police were letting them in, like opening up the barrier and letting them in. Like I watched clips where they just walked in the building and were walking with policemen either side of them, like just a tour, like they were going to the Capitol building for a tour. And then to see the reaction with some of the police, like the clip where the policeman's helping a woman down the stairs, like it was like,
oh yeah, ever so gracefully.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What? And then I think of like similar instance, like you said, Jermaine, with like black people, like with the BLM protest last year during lockdown, and it was peaceful protests. Like they weren't there trying to undermine democracy. They were just
we were on our knees.
Right. Do you know what I mean? And it was rubber bullets. It was riot gear. It was mad. And to think they did all of that for peaceful protest, and for someone who's in like the government building while they're certifying, like this is why I said I don't want to talk about it, because it's levels. They were certifying Joe Biden's presidency. Like this should the security not have been like Fort Knox? No one should have been able to get in when they were doing something that important. So,
but you know what? Yeah, do you know what I realized? For the National Guard or anything to be called anywhere, to a bake sale, to a barbecue, whatever, the president has to sign off on it.
Right.
So that's why there was no one there.
Right.
Do you get me? Like, they need to someone makes the call to the acting, obviously, like he ain't gone yet. You get me saying? So he's still in that position. So someone made the call. Can we get the National Guard out here to, protect the Capitol or whatever? And can you imagine what his reaction would like? Who is it out there? Is it my people? Well, why am I going to do that to my people? They've got my banners. They've got, they're for my campaign. Like, he's not going to call the National Guard. You get me? So it's like, I only realized that today, because I thought it was like whatever's going, like if Godzilla shows up, National Guard is there. The president has to sign off on the National Guard. But that's why they weren't there, because he's like, no, they're not going there. Sorry, mash up the place, please, because I didn't win.
Yeah, it's mad, It's mad. The only thing I think that's come out of this that I'm a little bit optimistic about, and again, I still think there's some sort of divisiveness behind it, is the communication platforms and social media platforms banning his account. I think that was the correct move to make. To not stir up any more sort of just madness in America. But I still think it's divisive because for me they should have done that a long time ago. Like some of the things that I've said, some of the things that he's retweeted, you just think I've seen, and we're not even gonna go down the route of another artist from the UK who's done certain things, because that conversation's had. But there's people that have been banned for less. Do you know what I mean? And regardless of the president, the rules of that platform is the rules of that platform, and it's probably even worse on you because you have so much influence. So, yeah, man, I'm glad they did that. I'm glad there was some solidarity between the social media platforms to silence it, because it's just mad. It's mad. It's mad. It's actually mad that we are living. It's almost like we're living what our grandparents did and our great grandparents did, and we know so much more. And it's like, how have we fallen back 70, 80 years? It's crazy to me, man.
It's because we're realizing. I was saying this to my family the other day. 2 years ago, I didn't give a damn about voting or anything like that, because I'm like, it's not going to really make a difference. Like, they're going to do what they need to do for the country. And like, when you're young, you kind of feel like, when you're young, you know, before today's social media, I mean, you kind of feel like you don't really have a voice, and, you know, who's in parliament, who's here, there, wherever, doesn't really matter to you. Your life is going to be where it is. But now it's showing us like the importance of who you appoint to lead the country. Means everything now. Like, we've seen it on our side of the pond and theirs. Like, it's crazy how important that decision is. And before, you know, this ripe old age now, I absolutely didn't care. Like, it didn't make a difference to me. But the pure fact that now you know, Brexit is in full swing. You know, UK said, no, we're not going to do the free, the visa thing for the entertainers who can go in and out of the country. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Now I'm fully affected by who's in the leadership position. Like, so it's just crazy. Like 2000, this decade now, this decade is going to mean a lot to a lot of people, because I don't feel like the shenanigans from 2020 is completely done.
No.
And the only thing that we can say is that because 2020 happened, like yourself, Cherry, is a desensitization to the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Like, we now are mentally and physically, and do you get what I'm saying? Like, prepared for, because this is like, what else can happen other than aliens?
Right, that's all I'm waiting for.
Like,
I'll just have a couple Pitney and then they can come.
After that, yeah, just hold on.
Listen,
yeah.
It definitely is a real thing. Like, whatever you're gonna do, just do it, because
True, you know.
like,
True.
I realized, I thought to myself, how much signs do you need that the world's gonna end, Jermaine, before you put your album out? Because it's probably not gonna, you get what I'm saying? If you keep waiting, bro, we don't know what's gonna happen to the world, bro. You just need to put that project out, like, and just do them videos and just strategize a way where you can realize your vision without, you know, necessarily breaking the bank or breaking the flipping lockdown rules. And we just need to think of a way and be creative and do what we need to do to get our art out, because right now they're trying to force us to retrain, reskill, and yam out our whole passions.
You know what's mad about that? It definitely feels like it's focused towards like the arts. Like, everywhere else has some sort of top up or package or consideration, but when it comes to the arts, like, they are going on mad. First, obviously, telling us to retrain, which is like, what? Like, we spent most of our lives, like, and it's no comparison, but we've trained longer than surgeons do, or longer than lawyers do. Do you know what I mean? And again, we're not comparing, because obviously, but we put our time in. You would never tell a lawyer, "I'll go and retrain," or you'd never tell a surgeon, "Go and retrain." And then the visa thing is mad. It's mad. I was looking at a tweet on Twitter. Obviously, it's on Twitter, but and they were comparing like industries that have had bailout and what kind of income they bring to the UK versus the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
We're talking about 600-800% more, and there's been no help. So it's like, well, there's an agenda, isn't there? Like you realize that actually people within the entertainment industry are making legitimate money and maneuvering the system the way that you set it up so they can actually keep the majority of that money. And you're like, nah, we're not having that anymore. You, man,
exactly.
are going to have to go through us. It's mad.
That's what I was going to say. Go on, Cherry.
I was just going to say, I've definitely given up the thought or the, like before COVID, I was making all of my money from music. Whether that was artistry or as a vocalist,
right?
I have definitely given up that hope now. I don't know if that's the term, but I surrendered halfway through 2020 and I just said, hey, I'm not trying to wait around to see if I can still make this work the way I was making it work before with so much restrictions.
Right.
So may I have to find next kind of way to make this thing work.
OnlyFans and that, yeah.
Huh?
OnlyFans.
Patreon, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I deleted it though. You know, but we'll talk about it another time.
No, we're going to talk about the things that we need to discuss right now, forthwith.
God,
yeah. Why did you delete your Patreon?
You know what? I'll be very honest, and I haven't even spoken about this, but in my first month, I made a substantial amount of income. And it scared me. No, it scared me because after that, building up a certain rapport with some Patreons, there becomes an expectation, you know, and then a request to step up the boat a bit more. Yeah, and there's just certain things where men now got do. So I just thought I'm slightly starting to feel compromised.
Okay.
And it just wasn't fun anymore.
Right.
So I've deleted like the tiers that are about you know, having a bit more of a closer look into the cheeky cherry. And I left the tiers there that are about, you know, if anybody wants some assistance with, you know, their artistic journey or vocal tips and tricks and, you know, just a bit of a go-between, hold your hand on this independent artist journey and radio drop, stuff like that, jingles, all that. I've kept that there. But the other tiers with a few more cheeky cherries, I've deleted them.
That's hilarious.
Right.
So
can I just say something? Yeah.
Funded some people as well.
I want to know what request.
So then you what?
I refunded people that, like, when I decided what the cut-off point was, you know, when it went into the next calendar month, I just refunded everyone that signed up again. Like,
Listen, I want to know what request you was getting, Cherry. We're not having this conversation without you going there. Free out the information. What was the request?
People just want everything. They want everything for a subscription rate.
That's mad.
Listen, what I was going to say, is that as someone who signed up to OnlyFans, not as a performer, but as a punter, so to speak. What happens is it's a chain of events. Like, you see something, and if it's not like all the things like they probably was requesting of you, then, you know, you have the decision, you make the decision to unsubscribe. And what happens eventually to a lot of guys, sorry, I'm into guys, innit? So Wow.
Oh, you
happens to a lot of
didn't know
guys. I'm just saying, some people don't know, innit, man? So what happens to a lot of guys is that they try and do the, you know, speedos and all the rest of it, and try and be suggestive with their imagery and their videos. And then obviously when the subscription base starts to drop, they have to fling out the things, innit? Like they have to fling out the things, you know, show all the discrepancies, you know? So it's there's only so long. I remember I was subscribed to this one guy, and he was like, "Oh, I'm shy," and blah blah blah.
How much do you pay? How much are you paying?
I don't know. I don't usually go over like the $10 or whatever.
Okay, darling, go on. Continue.
But yeah, I was subscribed to this one guy, and I remember it was I almost feel so cringe for him as well, because like at first he was trying to be like, I'm shy or whatever, I don't want to, you know, show anything, and he was covering up his things and all the rest of it. So delete this, man, yeah, come off my thing, yeah, and then come back 6 months later, because I see activity on like a preview or something. My man's skinning out all the goods, because it's like, yes, bro, if this is the world you're gonna dip your toe in, you have to go all the way almost, because otherwise it's not really gonna be lucrative. Do you get me? And
that's why I didn't go for OnlyFans and I went for Patreon, because OnlyFans is the expectation.
Facts.
Is absolutely like high for that type of stuff. But obviously Patreon, like as I said, I could still leave 2 tiers up and still have some type of rapport with people.
Yeah.
And it just be a different subject, because there's so many different ways to capitalize off Patreon. And
it's still, you know, that's Patreon. Your Patreon stuff is more, you know, in alignment with your artistry and what you do as a musician and blah blah blah. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but if anyone was to, you know, have an OnlyFans account, like we all know what we expect to see when Chris Brown said, "Yeah, cool guys got OnlyFans," and he was uploading Instagram pictures. Come off my thing, my G, because like, you get me? Like what? I didn't sign up, but I knew, like, from I saw, I wait. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to wait to see like feedback from people. Like, what's man really doing? You get me? Like, because diving in as a hungry, thirsty, whatever, you feel super scammed. Like, especially because it's that platform, and you know that people are fully doing the dugga, you know. So
yeah, people are really getting it in on there. They're really getting it in.
You know,
making absolute. I saw someone's statement the other day, making $49,000 self-employed, like, and he put like hashtag self-employed next to it.
And it's easy to go down that road. It's so easy. It's so easy. And do you know what I've noticed is like how I've always been as Cherry or as an artist, I have no problem embracing my sexy, innit? Right. So really, it was like, it was a minor thing for me. Water for back. I would do my day, do a couple like pictures that day, and then maybe like twice a week post. And it was nothing really out of the ordinary. I haven't done any music videos or haven't done for pictures. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's showing and being sexy, but there's a limit to what obviously man wants to be out there. So.
Yeah, I was real close to doing OnlyFans. I'm just being honest with you, but it wasn't straight up porn. It was gonna be like
an Instagram post, Jermaine.
Nah. It was gonna be like intercourse, but it was gonna be shot like music video, like, and it's gonna be very like
it was
obscure. Yeah, I was gonna go all out. It was gonna have songs over it though. It was gonna be like a video to a song.
Okay. I think you slightly already got one, to be
fair. He's just warming us up.
No, man. Listen, if I did,
that link would be up.
I wouldn't be, yo. That link will be up. Man would have jewels and gems and all the rest. I will be balling out here.
I know we've gone off on a bit of a tangent, yeah? But how do you stop that content from like going out into the public domain?
You can't.
Listen, bro, you just have to know that this is what my pitney's going to see one day, all right?
No, it's not even like that. It's not even like that in terms of like actually monetizing, like not being.
Okay, how do you keep it locked in? Yeah. I mean, you definitely on that platform, you can't really, but if you're about that life, bro, these people are making an absolute fortune, man.
Yeah,
because people ain't got.
Some people are making money from just their feet and them thing there.
Yeah, people ain't got really time to. Majority of people, should I say, haven't got time to figure out the loopholes of how to rip your content and blah blah blah. So they'll just stay subscribed.
Yeah.
No, but you can screenshot and you can screen munch.
Yeah, screen munch and all them thing there. But at the same time, if you do respect and you're a fan of the person, then you don't really, like, you know, some people have huge followings. And like I said, when I saw my man's bank statement from OnlyFans on his Twitter account, I was like, oh, do you know what?
Said screen munch, I meant screenshot, sorry. Granny.
Screen munch, you know. Do you know that? Remember that app?
Yeah.
The thing that used to go like that on your screen.
That's BBM days. BlackBerry.
That was on BlackBerry, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Later.
I'm here looking at my feet like, could I do it? Could I?
Put some dash some shea butter on them.
Listen.
Oh my God.
Oil it up good, fam.
Actually done.
Listen.
Actually,
you make a monthly wage, my G.
Listen on my toes and that. Yeah.
Oh, do you know what?
I'm actually done. Next subject, please.
What is the next topic? What was I going to say? Oh, speaking of financial deficits.
Oh God.
Spotify now. Because we spoke briefly about the wrap-ups and all the rest of it. Yeah, wrap-up numbers. Yeah. Come to find what's it again?
You don't rate man then, yeah, go on.
Come to find out, 750,000 tracks have been removed due to fraudulent number tampering. So what are you guys saying to me? And this indie people, you know, that's what they said. It's like a lot of indie people, right? I'm not obviously, we know that labels are fabricating certain things because they have the powers and they can speak to, you know, Philip at Spotify and say, yeah, just tap in that. But indie people are obviously, I don't know the means of how to do it, whether it's you obviously send a bag of money to someone who's gonna just type in some figures, or whether it's a bot system, or I don't know. But apparently, guys, you know, clearly a huge amount of indie artists have been fabricating their Spotify numbers.
Yeah. You know what? It goes back to what you said about what we discussed about wrap up. Is it doesn't define your artistry. It doesn't say
it's bullshit.
This is it. But you know what it does? It's almost like the whole social media curse with likes and retweets and follows and that. It pressures you into believing, if I don't have this, then I'm not valid. Mm-hmm. And so people are going down the line where they need to have those vanity metrics to make them look like they're moving.
I love that term, vanity metrics. Don't let me throw my phone, bro.
That's all it. That's all.
The thing is, but the reason, the bigger problem is that is what is determining what labels and the powers that be say is going to be the next big thing. So that is why people are going ham, and I think this is the point that keeps getting missed. It's like people are like, oh, you know, it's not about numbers. And as much as I said to you guys before, like, I'm not thinking on that whole path of like numbers and that. I'm just trying to concentrate on my core and just enjoy my music that I'm making. But the fact of the matter is, it does care. The numbers do matter.
Yeah, they do.
Because if you're trying to be seen, be notified, or be like in front of the powers that be and in front of the label heads, that's the first question they're asking about followers and numbers, streams. So that's why people are doing it, because they're trying to elevate themselves to the next level. And if the next level requires you to have that, then that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Facts.
It's a vicious cycle, isn't it?
It's such a vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle, man.
I had a brief conversation with my brother the other day. Because if you guys don't know, my brother's a singer as well, Sean Riley. Check out his stuff on SoundCloud.
I know, Sean.
From early.
Right? But you know what's so funny is that I hate to put his business out there, but it's like the same way you're like bad man from early, yeah? He questions that all the time just because he's not in a certain position within the industry, within certain circles and blah, blah, blah. Right. And I had to say to him, bruv, it doesn't, like, you're looking at people's Spotify numbers and stuff like that. You haven't even put out a song legit on Spotify and you've got certain respect from people as a singer, as an artist or whatever, right?
And songwriter.
Yeah.
And songwriter. And it's like, when we really deep it, them numbers or lack thereof cannot change the perception of who you are to people.
100%.
When you really, really check it, as much like that is the number thing, and Spotify and that world, it's as frivolous and fluff as Instagram or anything like that. When you really check it, because if someone's at Troy Bar and they ain't on Spotify or Instagram or anything like that, but you know they can lash, what do you say? Oh my days, this is about to... Do you get what I'm saying? You don't think, oh, he's going to be shit because these Spotify numbers are like... Do you get me? Like, bro, if you know someone is about to kill and the respect level is there, no amount of numbers or you know, vanity metrics, as you put it, makes a difference on your perception of someone. When you really...
It's about what the artist themselves wants, though, because that's where it's blurred. Because if they're not happy with their peers and the crowd at Troy Bar being like, you're amazing, and they want to elevate to another level, which is fine if people want to do that, then they're going to desire that extra streams. They're going to desire them views. They're going to desire that because they know the only way they're going to get through the door. Because it's not about, look, coming from a family of singers, back in the day, you could go to make an appointment with an A&R, go to a label and sing your socks off and get signed. But that got happen again. That's not happening now. They want to see that. What you're talking about, metrics. They want to see all the numbers and the pie charts and all the algorithms to be, before they even think about even investing. You have a meeting with you.
Yeah. But I'm talking, and I fully 100% agree with that. But I'm just talking about our inner self of like where we're on this level, that like on the level that Sean's at right now. I just say these things to install some kind of self-belief and positivity in him, because I'm like, bruv, as much as people might not talk your name like certain man, understand that when you're in the building, you know what sparked that conversation is that he runs in a circle of he rolls with singers, right? Yeah. But when they go places and there's an open mic situation, everyone's like, Sean, sing. And I'm like, can you not see that regardless of what you're doing music-wise, people want something from you, bro?
Yeah.
Like you have something else that when it's really... Jasmine Sullivan's Tiny Desk is a prime example, right? And we're gonna speak about that in a bit, but I'm saying, like, for me, my takeaway from the Jasmine Sullivan Tiny Desk is that you cannot stop a star from shining.
Yes.
Like when it really comes down to it and it's time to be seen, it's just like, as much as, you know, we talked about, you know, calling people underrated and blah, 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 give people their flowers and all the rest of it. It's like, I was watching it thinking, it was just only a matter of time till we got this. It was just only a matter of time till this was so, her skill level, her gift, her anointing, whatever, was so well documented. It was just only a matter of time because, like I said, you cannot stop the thing if it's destined to be where it is. And she just had to, you know, what's this, her fourth project? And over the years, it's been like she's amazing into people's top 5 or whatever. But this just felt like a cultural shift. And yeah, I just try and remind my brother all the time, like, bruv, stop watching. It's hard because we all are victim to it. But stop watching him over there, her over there, what this person's doing, their numbers over here that we know now can be fabricated. This article over here, when it's just like, when it's you're gonna get that moment that's gonna make everything else make sense. And then it's just gonna be undeniable. Like, I don't have no qualms now being like, yeah, Jasmine's the best. She's been out here though, but I wasn't saying that before. I just needed that thing eventually, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I don't even know how I'm going to round off my point, but you guys get what I'm trying to say.
It's a word. You just dropped some gems, man. It's a word to kind of, and especially to like artists in our scene, which it feels very, like we feel very overlooked, and you know what I mean? We don't get the same sort of investment or infrastructure. But for me, like, you lashed me with that. It was a bit of a word to just like, you know what? Your moment's gonna come regardless. No one can stop that. Like, no one can stop your moment. And even
if you stay in your shit,
if you
just
stay
like her, clearly,
and that's the
clearly she's been singing every day,
right?
Yeah, so it's just like,
right, and that has been, she hasn't flip flopped. Like, she stayed. And I was having this conversation with someone. Jazmine Sullivan has stayed very consistent throughout her career. She's just been Jazmine Sullivan. When people didn't get it, when didn't get it, she just stayed being Jazmine Sullivan. And then people eventually caught up, like, and now people are giving her flowers. Like, she ain't been out here doing what she's been doing for the last 10, 15 years. So yeah, man, that I felt like, Jermaine, you gave us a little message today. But you're right, man. You're absolutely right.
Thank you, bro.
Absolutely right. Yeah,
this
man.
This is real talk.
Yeah, man. Artists.
But yeah, I digress because what we was really talking about is, I'm just trying to tap back into the emotion of how I felt in December, yeah? Because when I saw 10.2 million, blah, 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 I'm now looking at people sideways, especially when no one knows who you are, my G. I'm kind of looking at people like, so what bot did you use? You know, because I'm just...
Right, and how much did it cost? And how much did you pay?
It's a bit mad. And to be fair, you know, it's like Cherry said, they're forcing people to fabricate these things because you can't necessarily elevate without it. But it makes me feel a lot better with the numbers that I got, and knowing that they're all like genuine streams, you know, like
this is it,
in the hundreds of thousands of whatever.
This is it, every single one.
Because that's wild. Because without no bot, like I said, without me going ham, that's what I'm achieving. And it's yeah, it was a reassurance when I heard about that, because I'm like, do you know what, Jermaine? that's why you can't watch people, because you don't, like it's like I'm taking my own bumper advice, because I said to my brother, no one's going to tell you what they're doing behind the scenes to get where they're at.
Facts.
So yeah, I just feel like raw.
It's wild.
It's a revelation.
It's wild to think that people would get to a point where they're like, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is one of the things, yeah, that I speak about a lot, like especially on Twitter, where I just feel like a lot of people are being dishonest about their journey, like I've said before, and then they give you that little humble speech like, oh, thanks guys, so hard, and thank God, and all of that, when you kind of see the signs, like, and we spoke about this off camera, but you kind of see the signs. Like,
I feel like go on, finish your point, go on.
Basically, when you just see the signs, like there's no way you can have, I don't know, 800,000 streams, but you can't get no one to your on your live. Like, you've got 50,000 followers, and there's 3 people on your live. Like, it don't make sense. Or you got these amount of streams, but you've done a headline show, and only 30 people were there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not, and that's no disrespect to anyone, but the numbers have to start making sense. And you kind of see, and that's what annoys me the most is, like, people will do the most and just be cheating, and then everyone else is looking at, and this is what causes that cycle of like madness, because everyone else is looking around like, raw, my man's moving, like, how do I do that? And you think it's all organic, and so you're doing all of these steps organically, and nothing's happening for you,
killing yourself.
And then what are you left with? Right, let me go find a bot that's gonna stream my things 1 million times. It's a vicious cycle, man. It's a vicious cycle.
You can almost trip up and change your sound and do all them things, and then, you know, trap yourself in a trend based on fabricated things.
This is it.
Because that's how you felt like, oh, I'm inadequate or whatever. It's all mad. One thing I was going to say when you was talking is that we definitely need to talk about your spikes on Twitter, Ricardo, when you get in your bag about